All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the second edition of what we now call GOLP TV. So, welcome to GOLP TV on bagofgames.com. All again, magic across the bottom of the screen. So anyway, what we're talking about today is we stand upon the abyss. We look down into the abyss of next gen. We're looking down into things we do not know. It is a dark hole of which we throw our rumors into and all of our conjecture, and it's probably all going to be wrong.
And the abyss stares back.
We're going to say, and the abyss stares. Oof, it got me. That got me a little bit right here. Right here. I'm pointing to my heart. Rob can't see me. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about things that are probably going to be wrong, because we know that we're on the precipice of an announcement that's coming, 10 days from now? Is that right, Rob?
Yes, and that's what I love about this, is we're going to be super wrong, and in 10 days we're going to look like complete idiots. Or less than 10 days from the time this goes live, actually.
Dude, I guarantee I will look like a complete idiot before 10 days has passed for a different reason.
Oh, that's true.
Right. So, anyway, obviously it is coming out. Probably this year, I think. Obviously, the Xbox will probably get announced later too, but right now we are on the verge of hearing about the PlayStation 4, so that's what we want to talk about. Now, there are rumors flying all over the place. I mean, I literally just read an article that said Crysis 4 confirmed for PlayStation 4. Okay. Confirmed is a loose term, obviously.
The internet's idea of confirmed is pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, right. It's confirmed. Somebody said it on the internet at a different site. I read it. Confirmed. And that was on the Examiner, by the way, as we all know, is the highest standard of journalism. So, no offense to you if you write for the Examiner, because I almost did myself once, and I know many fine individuals that do write for the Examiners in different cities. But
I'm sure they exist somewhere.
Anyway, Rob, so what are you thinking? What are you thinking you're going to see from this? I know that, rumors aside, first we'll do what we want, what we think we're going to see, then we'll do what we want, because both are going to be wrong, but and both will probably be different. So I think that'll be interesting. So what do you think we're going to see from this?
So for the PS4, I think Sony's going to go relatively conservatively, as they usually do. They're Sony. They're not known for mixing things up very much, so I'm expecting more power. It will still have a Blu-ray drive, but there's going to be a big push towards online stores and fixing all the interface issues and stuff that come with that. I expect that they will pimp Gaikai a little bit, their streaming service, but I don't think that that's going to be one of the more major features of the console. It's just going to be something it also does. You know, think of it like Netflix or something like that.
It's not ready.
No, it's not, and it may never be ready.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
So I think we'll see something that's kind of like the PS3, better graphics, 1080p, anti-aliasing. We're going to see all the good bells and whistles, way more memory, stuff like that.
60 frames per second?
No,
it's going to be kind of standard for that?
That's up to the game developers, but I think for the most part, people are going to stick to 30.
But hardware that supports it.
Well, no, the PS3 supports 60 frames per second right now. Rage and the Call of Duty games are 60 frames per second. But I don't think we're going to be locked to that. I think they will allow developers to drop way below that, and I think most developers will. On the console, it seems like it's not nearly as important for most games as it is on the PC, except for competitive shooters. So we will have that, 3D, all that stuff. That much is pretty much a given. I think you're going to see the tech nerds and the tech blogs freak out about how low the specs are, and I think it's going to be a mistake to worry about that. The way consoles work isn't directly analogous to the way PCs work. You're going to see a lot of gloating from the PC community about how, it's already behind the current PC tech, but I think when you actually see games running on in action, it's going to look pretty badass.
Right. I mean, so you're not predicting massive overhauls to, like, the way we look at games. Okay, so
not for Sony, no.
Not for Sony. Okay, so what are you thinking for backwards compatibility? Now, I've heard some rumors recently. Now, I'm talking about Xbox at this point, but I've heard some rumors recently, and they're getting the rumors, so know that the Xbox might have a kind of subscription fee or per game fee, or perhaps both, to play your used games, i.e. your Xbox games you already own, too. So those would fall into the same category. If you bought a game at GameStop, or I want to play Red Dead Redemption that I have a disc for, that I purchased, that I play on my Xbox, I want to play that on my Xbox 720, you know, I'm going to have to pay a $10 unlocking fee, or I can pay a big subscription fee to unlock all of them. What do you think? Obviously, PlayStation's not really been great with backwards compatibility in recent years, so do you think they're going to continue on that trend of just kind of pushing forward and saying, fuck you guys, we're moving forward without you, and you're going to come along because you like our product?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I would like to think that for the first launch of this, they're going to have some kind of backwards compatibility, and maybe it's a model you can buy that's a little higher end, like you pay $50 more and get backwards compatibility. But I think it's just going to have to be supported on some level, because a lot of people aren't going to want to have two Sony devices under their TV, or say they're new to the Sony family. They're not going to want to miss out on all the great PS3 games of last gen. Now, on the other hand, what Sony could do, which would be unfortunate but is a possibility, is launch the PS4 with a huge online store that has a lot of PS3 games on it, and just say and just release them for a little bit cheaper, and say, you know, sorry, we don't support these games, but you can rebuy them. That would be fitting with what Sony's been doing with the Vita. So my guess is...
Well, the Vita, now the Vita has a subscription. I'm not sure what it's called because I don't own a Vita, but where you pay and then you get cheap games, and you also get a free game every month or quarter.
Oh, well, that's just a general PlayStation service they offer. I think it's called PlayStation Plus.
Okay, well then, but then you get free games from that, right? Occasionally, and like good games.
Yes, and well, they're free, but they're not really free. They're only accessible as long as you're part of the subscription. So if you cancel your subscription, you lose all those games.
Still, I mean, I guess that's kind of like Netflix or something, right? You are party to all those, all the media intake, as long as you're paying a subscription, as long as you have a subscription. I mean, in my opinion, you know, the Gaikai thing obviously may or may not be for posterity's sake, so to speak, for Sony. Something they're looking for like a PlayStation 5 or beyond, you know, to have the technology there and ready for when they're ready to do it. I don't think we're ready to make the leap over to streaming games, although I do think that people want to have that in the background in case they need it later, you know?
Right.
Do you think we're going to see any of that?
No, I think we will. I think we'll see it out the gate. I don't think it...
You think we'll see, like, titles released out the gate, or you think we'll see old games out the gate?
Oh, both, yeah. I think some of the launch titles will be on there. I think they're going to push that more as a demo service than they are as a game subscription service. My guess is that the ability to play whole games on it will be there, but I think in the marketing push that they're going to do, it's going to be try 20 minutes of any game before you buy it via streaming.
Right, and don't wait 30 minutes for it to download or whatever.
Right.
That is really, really smart. That would be. I haven't thought of that actually. That's a really good idea. So we're gonna hear about this in 10 days, like I said. Do you think that they're gonna release spec in 10 days, or do you think we're just gonna get a straight announcement in 10 days?
I think we'll get an announcement and a demo, and maybe in a press release somewhere we will have a something that has all the specs on it. But I don't think that's going to be the big thing they're pushing for. I think they want to show us something, not tell us something, not give us a list.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, no, I mean, but are we going to see that, like, as the people that care? Are we going to get that information? Are we going to be seeing that? Or are they just going to say it's coming? And then they're going to show off maybe some in-game gameplay of maybe Watchdogs, maybe who knows what's coming out for that. I mean, there's... Like I said, we've said this on the podcast. If you guys watch the podcast, or listen to the podcast rather, you know, there's nothing really slated for quarter three, that's huge. We're not looking at anything massive. I mean, I'm sure we'll get our Call of Duty and all the things we expect every year. But as of right now, we've got nothing new or amazing slated for that time. So that vacuum seems to tell me that we're going to see something from major developers launch. We have quarter three launches that we're looking forward to, but I don't know what we're looking forward to in quarter four for this, and that might be part of this announcement. Do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll see some titles come out. And back to your question about specs, I think we'll get some basic specs. I don't think we're going to get to see the stuff that the really hardcore nerds are looking for, the exact clock speeds and all that kind of stuff. But I think chip manufacturer, a basic idea of what architecture is using, memory, I think we'll get stuff like that at or shortly after this announcement.
Cool. Well, I think I'm pretty excited for it. I do not own a PlayStation right now, although I am, now that on the end of this cycle's life, I'm going to probably get one for my birthday this year. I think my girlfriend might be getting me a PlayStation 3 with all the games that I missed out on that I'd played a little bit at friends' houses and everything, but I was definitely an Xbox person and then became a PC person. And once you go PC, it's like it's hard to justify going back and buying a console sometimes, spending a couple $100,
It is a little bit, but there are plenty of great games for the PS3.
Absolutely. That's why I'm excited to explore some what will almost be classic games at this point. But moving on to a new generation, it's exciting. We'll see that in 10 days. We'll probably be talking about that again, I imagine, once we hear about it. So probably not next weekend, but the weekend after that, you can expect us here on Game Out Loud TV to be talking about what we actually saw from Sony's announcement. So anyway, in conclusion, Rob, I'd like to thank you again for coming on this weekend.
Sure thing.
And I'd like to thank myself every day. Anyway, this has been Game Out Loud TV. You can find us on bagofgames.com, and you can listen to our podcast as well, which is on bagofgames.com as well. We are a Game Out Loud podcast. This is Game Out Loud TV. You can follow us on Twitter, which is at Game Out Loudcast. You can also look us up on Facebook, and of course email us at gameoutloudpodcast.com. All that information, by the way, is rolling across your screen as we speak, and we'll see you next week.